And after a slow start, Sacramento was able to put 67 points on the board, 4/10 of a second remaining. Keeping an eye on a couple of other scores of interest. Memphis, who had been trailing most of the game for Dallas playing without Luka and without Kyrie. All right. They now lead Dallas 108-104 with a minute left. So we'll keep you up to date on that. But in Sacramento and Phoenix, it's 67-59 in the Valley of the Sun. Great to be with Ryan in Sacktown. And again, I'm going to go back to what you and I have said in the past. I look at this as a real positive. Not only are the Kings leading this game by 8, but De'Aaron Fox really hasn't gotten going yet by his standards. That's a real positive for Sacramento.
Yeah, absolutely. You could say the same about Sabonis, Grant. They each have 8 points in the first half. So You know that both of them are going to come around. Sacramento still hasn't got the 3-ball completely going at 38%. So there's a lot to look forward to in the second half. A lot of upside.
Boy, how about Kessler Edwards coming off the bench? How good was he?
Plus 14 on the plus minus. The energy was 1 great, but 2 is defense. Kessler's defense was just incredible. And, now we're seeing this may not be a flash in the pan. He could be a guy that can come off and give you good minutes when you got those wing players that are a little bit difficult, 3-and-Ds.
All right. 67-59. Sacramento shoots 45% in the first half, 38% from distance. Only 7 turnovers. Phoenix struggled from beyond the arc. They were 4 of 18 for 22%. 48% overall, and they only had 6 turnovers. As expected, Devin Booker, who's a king killer, led all scorers in that first half with 17 points. I don't know if Phoenix wins this game if they don't get their 3-ball going a little bit.
No, they have to get the 3-ball going, indeed. And the Kings, credit to them for pushing them off the 3-point line and being in their face guarding them a little bit. But Phoenix is a good 3-point shooting team, especially with Booker. So they got to continue that hard in the second half.
And how about the bench? The bench was outstanding. Lyles with 11, Edwards with 9, Mitchell with 7, and Met 2 and Monk with 5. So that's excellent production from the bench.
Excellent. In fact, you could almost make an argument the bench played just as well as the starters, and not even just in the points column. So they're showing up what exactly the Kings needed for a game like this.
Yes, Sea-Dog, there is a player. His name is Luka Doncic. He complains on every single possession, both sides of the floor. I have trouble watching the guy play because of that. So, yes, there is a guy that complains more. His name is Luka Doncic, who, by the way, is not playing tonight in that game. But for Sacramento, again, a slow start. They had trouble finding the range, and then they really got it going. And I'm looking at this box score. I'm looking at 32-31 Phoenix after 1, and then the Kings with 36 points in that second quarter to lead 67-59.
Yeah, Grant, and they did it their way. They kind of controlled the pace, and they didn't shoot a ton of threes, and so that's what makes it good for the Kings. When the 3-ball is going to come around, but if they're scoring in other ways, that makes them all the more dangerous from 3-point range.
Yeah, absolutely. So we now would love to know what you think the final score is going to be. And I would assume you think the Kings are going to win. Again, no Kevin Durant in this game. Speaking of no Kevin Durant, the Kings play on Monday at home against Milwaukee, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is not playing tonight, out with a sore hand. So, the Kings might be getting a break when they return home, not having arguably the best player in the league on the floor.
I mean, knock on wood, how long is this break going to continue between every team they see in the second half? But yeah, Giannis not playing. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal from the All-Star break, but obviously it has been.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Zach, but the Kings are the 2nd seed in the West. Okay. They're tied with Memphis, and I'm not really going to question Mike Brown and why he's not playing this guy or playing that guy. Matchups have a lot to do with it. And let's not get carried away here, okay? I mean, I'm not going to criticize right now Mike Brown, who's the leading candidate for Coach of the Year, but that's just me.
Hey, Zach, here's the thing. This is a very small sample size with Kessler Edwards. Yes. We've seen him twice. So let's temper the expectations, but by all indications from what we've seen, it has been very positive.
All right, Sea-Dog's got the Kings winning 112-110. What about you, Ryan? What do you think this final score is going to be?
Well, I thought one team would blow the other out. That's what I said in the pregame. I think the Kings are going to pull away in this one. I don't think the Suns get it going. I'm going to say Kings 129, Phoenix 111.
Wow, 129 to 111?
Yep, 129, 111.
All right, we got 129 right here from John, 129 to 125. All right, I'm thinking the Kings are probably going to score 55 points in the second half. So that's 123 or 122. And I think Phoenix will put a 60 spot up. So I think the Kings are going to win 122 to 119.
Okay. There you go. Those are
Yep.
our projections. Give us yours.
All right. We got 132 to 124. We've got 121 to 110. Williams got the Kings winning. We've got Crystal, who's got 116 to 112. Thanks for nothing, Dallas. Well, Dallas was playing without Kyrie Irving and without Luka Doncic. You can't really expect them to go in and win that game, can you? I mean, Memphis did hold on and win that 112 to 108. That's pretty good wins for Memphis. And again, they took advantage of a Dallas team that was shorthanded, but they were able to beat Golden State. So they hold serve, and now it's up to the Kings to see if they can answer and stay tied at the number 2 seed in the West.
Yeah, it keeps the Kings' feet to the fire, which is never a bad thing.
No, absolutely. And I think at this point, being the number 2 seed, it's nice, but it's not everything to me. I think as long as you are at home for the first round, I wouldn't really want to fall more than 3, but 4 might be better than 3 because 3 might be the Golden State Warriors in the first round. I don't think the Warriors are going to move up to 5. I could see them 6. And I don't know about you. I'd much rather play the Clippers than the Golden State Warriors in the first round of the playoffs.
Every day of the week, I would take the Clippers.
Yeah.
Every
absolutely.
day.
All right. We, as far as this being, the Pacific Division and a statement game, tonight's not a statement game. You're playing a team without Kevin Durant. It's not a statement game. The Kings don't have to make any statements anymore. They're second in the West. We have a handful of games left. They've already made their statement for the year. There are no statement games in March. I will use it as a barometer game on Monday when Milwaukee comes in, assuming Adetokounmpo is playing, and when Boston comes in, assuming they're healthy. I use those as barometer games. I don't think this is a statement game. I do think the Kings wrap up the Pacific Division, though, with a win here tonight against Phoenix.
Statement, no, but I'm kind of in that corner of a must win because they're 0-2 to Phoenix so far this season. They see them again in about another week, and if they can get that season split with them, depending on the point differential, that could come into play with the 2-3 seed.
It could, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not an important game. I don't think it's a statement game. There's a difference between important, big game and statement game. The Kings don't have to make statements anymore. They've already made their statement for the year. I really believe that. So, 67-59 at the break. And we really appreciate everyone being here. We also appreciate Bennett's with 2 locations in Sacramento and in Roseville. Sacramento on the corner of Howe and Fair Oaks. Roseville at Eureka and Lead Hill Boulevard. You can check out their weekend brunch, their prime seafood and steaks. They're incredible. You're going to love it. Brian and his family are huge Sacramento Kings supporters. Get down there to Bennett's. Tell them that we said hello when you go in there. Tell them that you were there because of watching us here on YouTube and Periscope. We appreciate that. That's Bennett's. Soon coming to Rockland. They'll be in Rockland at the Blue Oaks Town Center soon. So we're looking forward to that as well. That's Bennett's, Roseville, and Sacramento. All right. So what's the key here in the second half, Ryan?
My key in the second half is number 1, keep driving Phoenix off that 3-point line. That's absolutely imperative. My second key here is the bench needs to continue scoring. If Fox and Sabonis are going to be a little bit lower in the point totals than they typically are. So I want to see Monk. I want to see 3 people in double digits off the bench, which we're almost there.
I don't agree with you about the Nets game being in that category based on who they didn't have on the floor. I do think the Clippers was a statement type of a game, but I don't think the Nets game was. 67-59 again. And Sea-Dog thinks that holding Booker under 30. I doubt very much they're going to hold Booker to under 30. He's going to be the guy in the second half. He's got 17. I'd be surprised, Connor, if he is held under 30 points. I don't see that. I hope so. Well, if he is under 30, the Kings are going to win this game.
So maybe we meet in the middle, Grant, and we say they've got to hold Booker or Ayton under 30.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't see Ayton scoring 30. He's got 11 points at the half. Chris Paul, again, doing what he does, 9 assists, 2 turnovers. But, again, I look at the 3-point shooting for Phoenix. They're 4 of 18. I don't think they can win the game without improving. Now, Phoenix did shoot the ball well from the line, 13 of 15. Kings missed 5 free throws, 21 of 26. But over 80%, I can't complain about that. But I think we're in for a heck of a second half, Ryan. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think this is an important one to the Kings, not just for the win column, but based off of Coach Brown's comments closing after the Knicks game. So this team needs to come out and show them what they're made of.
Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate that you were back with us. Durant's only played 3 games with Phoenix, and they won them all. So I believe they won them all. He's going to be out for maybe the rest of the regular season, and that's just the way it is. And right now the Kings are taking advantage of a very good half. Again, a team with this roster that's already won twice against Sacramento, 67-59. Justin, let me explain something to you, okay? And I don't say this in any lack of respect. I've been in locker rooms for 32 years, okay? I can guarantee you that there's nobody in the Sacramento Kings locker room that is going around saying this is a statement game. They've already made their statements, okay? It's 1 game of 82. They are well aware that this team is a tough matchup for them. I think it's more of a confidence game if they should meet in the playoffs, even though Durant should be back then. But I'm just telling you, these things are not really discussed in the locker room like you think. And I can tell you that the players in the Kings locker room feel they don't have to make any more statements, that they're second in the West. They know it's not a fluke. And the statement for the Kings is going to come in the playoffs. That's where the statement's going to come. So we'll see. So far, so good, though. I mean, I think this is a really good half for Sacramento. I can't really criticize too much.
Yeah, I agree, Grant. I do have to ask you one question because it came up a lot in the pregame show. Do you think it's unfair to write Chris Paul off now? For this
stupid. Yeah, you would never. I wouldn't write Chris Paul off at all. I think that's silly. Are we really seriously having this conversation? You really think that Edwards should start over Harrison Barnes? Have you watched the Kings play this year? Harrison is an unsung hero on this team. He is very, very valuable. He's a guy that doesn't get his name mentioned enough. Kessler starting over Harrison Barnes? Are you just like trying to antagonize me and see if you can get Grant all pissed off and have a Grant's rant at halftime? You can't be serious about that, can you? What's wrong with people? Seriously.
I think they should start Kessler. What are you talking about? And you know what? Bring Fox off the bench too. Put Delly in there. Let Delly start. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. 67-59. The Kings lead at the break. Harrison Barnes, by the way, 8 points, 4 rebounds in that first half. Keegan Murray didn't do anything in that first half. Didn't play a lot because of Edwards, but only 9 minutes and has nothing really on the stat line. No rebounds, no points, only 1 assist.
Yeah, there was a few times. Trey Lyles did this too, but there was 2 plays almost back-to-back where Keegan had wide-open threes and he hesitated and he didn't take them and traded it in the second quarter. I want to see the Kings actually take those shots because they are in the offense, but he needs to have more confidence in what he's doing. And when that shot's not going in, the rest of the game seems to go with it.
I love this press conference. I talked about this on my Listen App show yesterday. I thought it was spot on. I think it's great when a team has a coach that, despite winning, is not afraid to call out their flaws. Because Mike Brown's looking at the big picture. Mike Brown's not looking at, just making the playoffs. Mike Brown's looking to win in the playoffs. And so he understands that type of play that occurred in the Knicks game is not going to win you games in the playoffs. So I thought it was great. I thought it was outstanding.
Much needed. And I think one of the best parts of it was nobody is coached any differently than anyone else on that team. Fox to Delly, you are coached exactly the same.
Amen. Rhino, we'll talk to you in about an hour. Hopefully it's a Kings win. We'll be back here on the post-game show. You take care, buddy, and enjoy the second half, everyone.
Thanks, Napes.
All right. And again, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And we would greatly appreciate that. See you in about an hour right here. Bye-bye.